In this episode, we are doing a Squid Showdown with 3 unique flavor snacks that I got from ThaiSnax and a local Asian grocery store. For those of you joining us for the first time, I'm Yun. At NoshFinder, we are here to bring you unique snacks from around the world, break down those flavor profiles, and stay till the end because I'm going to give this snack a NoshFinder rating to determine whether you should try it or not. Before we start the showdown, let's dig into some Nosh facts just to see exactly what grilled squid is.
Squid or calamari is eaten in many cuisines. There are commercial fisheries in many parts of the world, including Japan, the Mediterranean, the southwestern Atlantic, and the eastern Pacific. With over 300 species, squid is a form of major food source and is used in cuisines around the world. Even its arms, tentacles, and ink are edible and can be prepared in numerous ways. In English-speaking countries, the term calamari was adopted from Italian into English in the 17th century. Historically, squid is also common in Pacific coastal regions of East Asia and Southeast Asia. No more than 24 inches long, the squid body can be stuffed whole, cut into flat pieces, or sliced into rings and fried and served as an appetizer. In China, Thailand, and Japan, squid is grilled whole and sold in food stalls. Ikayaki is a popular fast food in Japan where squid is grilled and topped with soy sauce. The taste of squid ranges from mild to rubbery if overcooked. If cooked over medium heat, squid tends to have a mild flavor similar to that of shrimp and lobster. Therefore, the best way to prepare a grilled squid is to pat the squid dry and remove all the moisture content on its surface before grilling. Grilling over hot coals provides optimal taste so the squid doesn't get chewy. The grilled version of the squid is tender on the inside and easily absorbs the flavor of the sauce it's served with. In Asian cultures, squid is also dried flat and can be shredded and eaten as a snack. Northern Pacific squid is separated into different parts, skinned, cooked, and cooled to make the snack. Then the squid is grated and seasoned with sugar, salt, sweeteners, organic acid, and MSG as the typical additives. The texture is like that of beef jerky, offering fibrous, chewy bits with seasonings of sugar, chili pepper, and salt to help round out that condensed fishiness flavor.
I love grilled squid actually, and I love dried squid, I love calamari, I love fried calamari, and I really love the Japanese style grilled squid with the sweet sauce on top. So I'm really excited to try out these 3 different types of chips and just to see how close we are to the actual squid itself. Alright, so we are ready for this showdown, and the first flavor we have is the hot and spicy grilled squid from Pringles. So with a lot of the Pringles, I love the Pringles packaging. This one we actually have a squid, but it's in a Pringles form with the tentacles popping out, and it has like this nice sauce with the chili over the grill on top. You know that it's like a grilled squid. Let's open it up and see what we think. So these Pringles actually have some seasonings on the actual chip itself. It doesn't look too bland. It has like a nice little brown coloring on these saddle-shaped chips. It's actually pretty small compared to some of the other Pringles. It's also very bite-sized, and when I smell it, I don't really smell much at all. It has a lot of like seasonings on top, but I just don't smell anything. So let's taste it and see what we think. Wow, it is definitely spicy. You're not joking when it's a hot and spicy grilled squid. The chip texture is really great. It held in a lot of the seasonings, so it was very complementary to the very bold squid flavors. The interesting thing is that this flavored squid really tastes like the squid that you get grilling at a food stall in Asia. So you're at a night market, you smell like grilled squid, and you have one of those like dishes. That's exactly what it tastes like. So these crisps actually has a hint of the sweetness from like that sauce that you brush over a grilled squid. So it tastes just like that. Really good, really spot on. I think the other 2 have a lot of competition against these Pringles. So let's move on to our next one. So the second bag we have is the hot chili squid from Lay's that I got from ThaiSnax. So packaging itself a little bit simpler and less flair than the Pringles one, but it does show some dried squid, some of these chilies that are cut open and actually kind of like flying into the chip itself. Let's open it up and see how it tastes. All right, so when I actually look at the chip, it kind of reminds me of Pringles with a very perfectly circular chip. and it has some of these seasonings that are actually on the chip itself. A little bit of like the saltiness that I can see from it. And when I smell it, okay, so these actually smell like dried squid. It's kind of like the packaged dried squid that you get in like Asian supermarkets as a snack. This is what this actually smells like. So let's try it out and see what it tastes like. So the first taste that I get is actually some type of like fish sauce. It's kind of like the fish sauce type of sauce that you use to dip like Vietnamese spring rolls in. And it's a little bit of sweetness. Definitely there's some spiciness and Thai chili kick that you taste that's kind of just rolling even after you finish the chip. The chip itself does taste like dried squid, and it has like a little bit of that dried flavor, not the grilled flavor, but it's very spot on in terms of that particular taste that they're able to get that flavoring on the chip itself. Chip texture is very similar to a Pringles, maybe not as light and dissolving on your tongue, but still a very similar type of texture. There's not too much sweetness to it. It's definitely a little bit more on the spicy side, but the sweetness comes a little bit from the fish sauce itself. So all in all, it's pretty good too. So, oh boy, 2 good squid snacks so far. So let's move on to the third one and see if it's just as good as the other 2. The last bag that I have is these Lay's grilled squid flavor, and in Chinese it actually says big wave chips, and on the bag there's the big waves, and you can see this grilled squid with some like sweet sauce kind of like brushed on top, and these really large cut ridges. And I've seen these large ridge cuts before, and I'm very curious to try these out because I love ruffle cuts, but these are really, really large. They almost look like the type of hard shell taco holders. These are what these chips look like from the packaging itself. So let's open it up. I can see some of the seasoning that's trapped in it. I actually think when it's actually the thinner little ruffles, actually more of the seasoning gets trapped versus these really large ridges instead. When I smell it, I definitely smell a lot of like seasonings and spices along the lines of more like Chinese spices. I smell cumin, and that's the most apparent type of like spice that I smell. So let's try it out and see how it tastes. The actual texture of the chip itself, it's a pretty semi-thick. It's not as thick as like a kettle chip, but it's not as thin as like a ruffle cut like Lay's. But it has a little bit of extra thickness to it. It's a little bit on the sharper side, so when you're chewing it, you're just trying to like chomp down the big ridges, which kind of creates not a pleasant experience when you're actually chewing on the chip itself. The seasoning doesn't even hit your tongue. It's just more like trying to navigate around the large chip before you even get to the seasoning. So it actually doesn't really create a good mouthfeel to it. The flavor itself is, I don't taste too much squid. I taste a bit of squid, but I taste a lot of the seasonings, which is like the cumin, the garlic, and the saltiness of the actual like brushed type of flavoring on the squid itself. It's not too bad of a chip. I think in comparison to the other ones, I think we'll have to figure out like who the winner is right now. And the winner of this Squid Showdown is actually a tie. So I think all 3 of them are very unique in terms of their flavors, and there are various different types of squid type of cooking methods and also the flavors that each chip embodies. So I think with that, it's not really fair to kind of actually taste all the showdowns because they're all very different, and they're all actually pretty decent. But I want to say the top 2 favorites are the Pringles hot and spicy grilled squid, and then the Lay's hot chili squid. Both of them have a NoshFinder rating of 5 out of 5. And in regards to the big wave grilled squid, I would give this one a NoshFinder rating of 4 out of 5. Have you ever tried any type of squid or squid snacks? If you have, leave a comment down below and let me know what you think. Definitely check out ThaiSnax. They have a wide variety of Asian snacks, and definitely get their premium box because they are packing these boxes to the gills full of unique flavored snacks. So definitely check it out. I left a link in the description below. If you want to challenge your palate or step up your snack game, be sure to check out all my other videos too. And if you want to check me out on the daily, be sure to follow me on Instagram. See See y'all next time.